We Are Movie Club, it's me Jenny, and this week's pick was The Fifth Element, chosen by ThatScotsman, whose link is somewhere on screen. And my quickie review is I really love this film. I can remember watching this in English class for some reason. I can remember not over-analysing it and just enjoying it. I have a soft spot in my heart for adventure stories involving kick-ass girls and not all that much intelligent plotline in terms of A to B. This is, you know, the ultimate evil being defeated by the ultimate good, which represents love. And, you know, it's relatively simple in terms of plotline, but I really do like this film. There's a lot of really great performances. Gary Oldman does an amazing job as a villain that you love to hate and you love to have on screen because he's just incredibly sad and you just kind of, you can understand where he's coming from, but you still like to have him on screen, and he's still an asshole. Bruce Willis equally is a lovable rogue sort of hero. You understand where he's coming from, but he's still kind of a dick at some points, and I like that. Milla Jovovich does an amazing job in this film. If anyone ever doubts her acting skills, I would direct them towards this film because she's so physically aware. She's able to get the language used. She's able to be so just... She has such a presence during this film and it's amazing. And I really love her performance throughout. There's not really any characters that I don't like seeing apart from maybe Chris Tucker's character, who is a bit... I find him slightly irritating, but I don't mind so much because it's part of this world and he's very much kind of a good focus for the world building in this. So I like the characters, I like the performances, I like the fact that each character has his very own different sort of motivations, but all ending at the same point, so it's a really good plotline convergence, which I love. And I like how all the characters interact as they go through the film. I like how the plot is relatively simple and you have to seriously suspend your disbelief for a lot of this film, but there's a lot of really nice, interesting messages thrown into this. I love the world building in this because it's not... A lot of modern films nowadays are very clean, very streamlined, beautiful utopian views of the future, or it's very grimy and very dark and very gritty. And this isn't really either of those. It's a very bright, very upbeat, very complicated world, but it's not afraid of texture, it's not afraid of colour, and it's not afraid of dirt. And it's not viewing the world as a negative thing, and it's not really viewing it as a positive thing. It's just a continuation of life getting busier and busier. There's a lot of slight culture mocking, particularly as this is, I think, a French film, or, you know, obviously an American film, but made by a French director, and there's a lot of stuff that's just very slightly mocking the American culture, particularly things like the McDonald's thing, the way that women are all dressed in what is basically versions of bikinis throughout the entire film, except one female character, the shoot first and ask questions later part of the American system. It mocks quite a lot of American politics, given that the American president just sits there and, you know, makes cool speeches. There's so much aspects of American culture in particular, and some Western culture, but mainly American culture, that is completely mocked throughout this, from, as I said, politics, gun control, driving. You know, there's so many different aspects that are gently mocked and then kind of subtly put into the plot, where that, you know, in the end it's actually human vice that saves the day. It is the power of love, it is a giant orgasm, but it is also, I can't believe I just said that out loud, it is also the reason why Corbin has the match on him is human vice. He is a smoker. That, you know, humans are these complicated things. It's not time that matters, it's life, and life is complicated and imperfect. And this world is bright, it's colourful, but it's definitely imperfect. And I love all of the way that the themes come together. The animation and the special effects hasn't aged particularly well, but I just watched the original series of Star Trek, so it was fine. I didn't mind it whatsoever. I like the music in this, particularly the Diva song is one of those songs, along with the cantina music from Star Wars. Oh my gosh, nerd points. Just, I feel them floating away. Apart from the cantina music from Star Wars, is one of the ones I'll just get in my head randomly and be like, oh, I've got this in my head, and then I'll attempt to sing it and people's ears will bleed and it's bad. overall, I've talked way too long, but I really enjoyed this film. I would definitely recommend watching it at least once just to get a feel for it. It's fun, it's action, it's cheesy. I have some problems with the fact that, spoiler alert, the planet at the end is basically a second moon, which hints at the original moon was also an evil entity. But the fact that they've now got 2 moons would totally throw off all sort of, you know, satellite stuff. Like, it would cause huge tidal problems, and that sort of scared me slightly, the fact that it's just left unanswered as just, oh, we got a second moon now. And also the fact that Lilu, at the point where she's looking at war, she's already looked at rape, murder, assassination, disease, viral warfare. She's looked at so much before she gets to war, and war is what causes her to break down and give up. Come on, there's worse things in this world than war. You know, mass murder, probably up there. But, you know, I understand where it came from within the storyline, so I don't mind. And, you know, at that point she is pretty much, you know, injured and not in the best mood anyway, so I can forgive her for that. I've rambled on for way too long. Next week's pick is Chris, somewhere on screen. She is amazing and very sweet and lovely. And I will see you guys all next week. Bye guys.